Hey, what up, though? What is good, everybody? This is Stocks4Rell, Sacrifice for Riches. It is good to see you here in the chat. Hopefully, we're all doing okay. Shout out to the UK and the VA in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I see the Discord members. What's up, Shelly? What's up, David? What's that? Tasita? I like that name. What's up, Tasita? Monique in the building. Denise in the building. I love the queens. The queens are showing up and I love it. I want y'all to know, like, I think it was like early in like doing this, like I got mad respect for the women that are trading, right? And especially the mothers that are like trying to do something. So I don't know, like a part of me like just wants to reach out and keep you involved because you're rare, right? This is I want to say it's a male predominant space, but at the same time we don't know. Sometimes I think the queens are just behind the scenes just stacking bread, but I love to see so many of you here right now. So shout out to y'all for being here and being the super heroes that you are, because that's my thought on women, right? My mom, single mom, did what she had to do, made sure that I was solid, right? It's hard. Work 3 jobs is hard. So shout out to y'all for being here and trying to better yourselves as well as your loved ones. All right, so we're gonna let everybody trickle in and gonna get into it. What it do, Mr. 504? Where you from? 504? I don't know. What's up, Jim? What's up, big dog? You goat status now. You'll goat on fire, big dog. I see you. Yes. Oh, what's up, Channer 8? Yep. Shout out to you. Okay, so we're letting people trickle in. For those that are new, just know that this is the Sacrifice for Riches rapid fire chart analysis. What does that mean? What I'm doing here, essentially, we go over to the charts. I set a timer. Where is my timer? That is, I might need to pause. I need to find my timer. Where's my timer? Might not have a timer today. It's upstairs. But anyway, we set a timer and then I look to the chats for the tickers that you are interested in. Why do I do this? Well, I've been around the block for a while, right? I've tuned in to so many other YouTubers in the past as I'm coming up as a young trader, right? And too often, you know, you might see somebody talk about charts or whatever. And for me, like, I mean, trading's supposed to be boring, they say, but at the same time, one, it was kind of dry. It was like the clear eyes guy, you know, talking about charts. Charts are boring, right? But at the same time, we can step it up a little bit. We don't need to drag out, you know, talking about data on charts for one ticker for 1 hour, right? Like, whatever. But two, I've seen a lot of content creators. They weren't disrespectful, but I understand the value of their time, right? So when somebody would like ask for them to look into a stock or a ticker that's unheard of or whatever, they kind of got like slapped up or like, you know, a little bit like verbally, like, what are you talking about? Why are you wasting my time with this, right? Like, so I get it, but at the same time, for me, my thought is you're looking at that ticker for a reason, right? Rather it's a good reason or not, you're interested in it. So my thought process behind this was to be just available to everybody and to be open to looking at anything, right? I might get to you, I might not. Those that are in green, they get priority because they're Discord members. Those that are in KGU, they give the tickers hashtag KGU. They're next up, right? And if you were just a subscriber, I'll do my best to get to you. Okay. So New Orleans in the building. I know. Okay, I see you. I see you, State Street. All right. Use your phone. What are you talking about, Shelly? Use your phone. Tapping in. What's up, Flacco? Couldn't find the timer. Hey, babe. I think the timer might be in my backpack. But let me just make sure. Quick scan. I gotta clean my area. Quick scan. Yeah, I don't see it. All right. So anyway, what we got? I should have called myself Mr. 225, right? Mr. Worldwide. How about that? For a timer. Oh, yeah. I might have to revert to that, Shelly. You're right, Queen. Much respect, big dog. Thanks for being here. So, shout out to everybody being here. I was unable to get my screenshot shared to my computer, so I'll say this. Yesterday, we talked about AMD. For those that were in the live training sessions, we talked about zone syncing. We talked about contract selection. We talked about Greeks. We talked about entering our positions. Thanks, baby. Mm-hmm. Got it. Wipe to the rescue. See? Superheroes. Thanks, babe. We talked about a lot, right? So in doing so, we were also able to identify some plays or some potential trade opportunities. We've been hitting on AMD consistently for the past couple days now. And today was no different. But I'll call out a couple things, right? So one, we did AMD. We rented up 26% to 30% several times, okay, on multiple plays. And I'll talk about the calls and the put options that we played on that, okay? This morning we opened up 118%, but it wicked right out of my demand zone. We're gonna talk about that a little bit as well. The chart review that I'm doing is not gonna be long, right? I have a separate video for those type of things, but I do wanna bring attention to what we're talking about in these rapid fire chart analysis are actually printing, right? So on top of that, we ran the SPY today. The SPY ran up 164% for your boy, right? So I ran it up 62%. I used a stop loss on majority of my contract. I left a runner. That runner ran 164%, right? And then one of the rapid fire not alerts, but somebody had requested for us to look at DVN. All right, that ticker during the rapid fire chart analysis from last week, we went ahead and set an alert. I said that we were in a symmetrical triangle and we're waiting for a breakout, right? Well, that breakout happened and we ran the play up actually up to 30% today. Okay, once that alert happened. If you are in the Discord, right, you received an instant alert the moment I got the alert, because you don't need to wait for me to say I'm jumping in anymore, right? It is what it is. If I have an alert on a specific play, the market's calling me. The market's calling me. The market say real. Hey, take a lunch break, big dog. Why? Because SPY is about to run on puts. All right. 164%. You down for that? All right. Sounds good. Right? It's kind of like that. Right? You get instant notifications. All right. So those that are in KGU, right? If you are here in the building, I do my best to give you a breakdown of what I'm looking at, right? And that will get more consistent and more structured, or consistently structured, right? It's just, it can be hard. So because today I knew I knew work was gonna be like busy, right? I had a lot of stuff to take care of. I gave everybody the levels for SPY entry and exits at multiple points, and I played each one of them. So if you played it and you made money, shout out to you. I did get a lot of screenshots, a lot of DMs. So thank y'all so much for the recognition. But It's you that executed the position. So shout out to you for making some money today. All right. So that's my rant. Okay. Let's take a look, and I'm gonna read the comments. If you are in here and if you have not hit the like button, please do so right now. Right? Do so right now. That's all I ask. My only question is how you trade and work at the same time. Where's KG's notepad? That's what I'm about to look for right now. Do understand that everything is accessible on a smartphone, right? Everything's accessible on the smartphone. I will answer this question either way, right? Because some people need to know, because we have 9 to 5s and it's hard to do this, right? So this is why I do the rapid fire chart analysis. This is a core reason, because when we go ahead and we look at the charts from a broader view, we can set alerts, right? We can set alerts, and then once that alert hits, hold up, trade, boom, boom, I'm in. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, I'm out, right? How long does it take for a stock to run, right? If it hits your level, 1 minute, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 30 seconds, right? I've made money in 10 seconds in a play before, right? Most plays are very, very short. So that's how I trade. That's how I do it, because it takes no time once my alert goes off to look, boom, boom, done, right? While everybody else is like at work looking at YouTube videos on their breaks, or Googling random crap, or playing Space Invaders, I don't know what you do at work, but whatever you're doing, you do that. Your smoke breaks, you take your smoke breaks. You take 4 number 2s a day, you have fun with your number 2s, but your boy is constipated and looking for some gains. That's what it is. All right. I'd rather be constipated and make money. I don't know. That's just me. Let me read the comments and then we're gonna get right into it. All right. If you're here, smash the like. Yes, queen. Thank you so much. Just followed on X and shared this video. Been a minute since I tapped in and see the growth. Hey, I appreciate you being here, big dog. Yes, the channel has grown, but not without the love and support of everybody here and people like you. So thank you for being here and, you know, lifting me up, right? Because I'm trying to pour into y'all, but at the same time, the support that I get from this community is hands down the best, right? So smoke break, and I don't even smoke. Right? Wayne, man, smoke break. Yeah, I don't smoke, but I'm gonna take that smoke break. I don't eat lunch, but I'm gonna take that lunch break. I got a smoothie. Done. All right. Fumbling on my phone to make a trade causes me to lose sometimes. Yes. We can talk about that in a different video. Probably something that I'll do for live training for the Megalodons exclusively, but we will see. Stop eating with the coworkers. Yeah. This ain't buddy time. I'm not trying to get to know you on my lunch break. I'm trying to get to know these charts. All right. So without further ado, again, for those that just tuned in, thanks for being here. This is Stocks4Rell, Sacrifice for Riches. We are about to jump into the rapid fire chart analysis. The first 2 to 5 minutes, I'm going to show you the charts of the plays that we got into from the last chart analysis. And then we're going to jump into the new tickers. All you have to do, if you're wanting me to take a peek at your tickers, is just to type in the ticker and let it be known, right? It's nice if you add some context, right? Rather, hey, Rel, looking at Apple calls, right? Or I'm looking for Apple puts, or I'm looking for long-term entry or investment in Apple. I'm trying to find the bottom, right? Whatever it is, right? I like to know those things because I can then speak to what your thought process is by informing me of the ticker. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Before I get started, do you have any questions? 32 eyes. Somebody didn't hit the like. All right. So I have a timer. This timer is set for 25 minutes. If it works. Something happened. Oh man, what happened to my timer? Hold up. I gotta make sure that the timer's working. Hold up. I gotta clear this. Hold up. Y'all keep telling people to hit that like button as they trickle in as I prepare my timer. There we go. All right, so there's my timer, okay? I will let you know when we start. I will not do a ticker before I press that button and say go. So let's kick over to the charts. All right, so what you see here, you see AMD. Now, what we did with AMD, real quick, we started off in a zoomed out view, right? I identified that we were in a symmetrical triangle, which was a neutral position. And I said that we were looking for a breakout or breakdown, right? So what do? This is an hour view. Notice that I have a demand zone and I have a supply zone. These zones aren't based on this 1 hour view. It's probably based more on the 15-minute, but I will let you know. So the supply zone is based on a 15-minute time frame, okay? I utilized that to identify whether I was gonna short AMD or not, okay? And we're gonna dive into that. Now, the demand zone was based on a 5-minute time frame. So you have to understand that it's not always gonna be sync up properly, right? But you just need to know what your zones are representing, because the time frame in which you're creating these zones also pretty much correlates with the strength of the zones, okay? So that being said, let's just talk about it real quick. So last night and then during the rapid fire chart analysis, we analyzed all this, right? Hold on, was this rapid fire? Rapid fire was down here, but nonetheless, we got we created our 15-minute supply zone, and we had an imbalance that occurred. Okay, with that imbalance, I drew it up. The imbalance came first before my supply zone. Once we rejected here, right, and we failed to break back above, that was a sign for me to short. Okay, then we had supply happen, right? I seen supply, I drew it out, and then this was my next entry. So I called an entry here, and then I called that I was doubling down once we crossed the base of the supply zone at 184.65. We fell into this symmetrical triangle. I identified it, I called it out, I let everybody know that this is likely a continuation, right? This is gonna be a continuation towards the downside. So I had my profits, but then we know that 184.37 was a key level. So I did wait for this to, so when I took profits, I did wait for a retest before I entered a position. So by this second point, I'm in, right? And I'm waiting for this breakout and I'm not being shaken, right? So then we opened up and we printed, right? And we did the same thing again. It bounced at demand, and then again at supply. This morning, it dropped like a rock, right? 118% of a move there, probably more depending on what you're looking at, right? the contract that you selected. So that's it. I'm not gonna go too much deeper than that, but this is just one example of how I look at things, right? So without further ado, oh, hold up. And I got to show you DVN. Okay, that's the only other one. DVN. So DVN. We called this out at the last rapid fire chart analysis. I moved this just a little bit, but we had this triangle pattern and this was drawn out. Okay. Right. This was drawn out and I set an alert here right around here because I was waiting for this breakout. Everybody in the Discord received this alert. Okay. We all received this alert. And then we rolled this to the upside because the breakout was great. It had momentum and it was exactly what we were looking for. So, but as we're coming up, this is a new stock for me. So I did go pretty light and I did make sure that I took the liberty to identify where the supply zone was. Where am I likely to see resistance, right? I want this to go all the way up to 35.60, but I'm also a realist and tomorrow's the DTE if you're playing the weekly. Okay, so we still need to break through this, break above 33.87, bullish momentum through this supply zone. If we do and break above, I have another alert set at $34. So if you're in the Discord, you're gonna get this alert at $34, which should tell you that if we break above here and come to retest, then you're looking for bullish reversal, right? After on this retracement for more upside. So that's that. All right, so let me take a drink. I'm gonna get my timer together. I'll check the comments and then we're gonna get into it with the rapid fire chart analysis. What's up, Rocket? Big dog in the building. FYI, people struggling to trade at work switch to futures. Open 23. Yes, absolutely. I can second that. All right, so this is the rapid fire chart analysis. Timer is going to start at 25 minutes. Please have your tickers ready. The moment I say go, we getting into it. All right, let's go. What we got? What's our first ticker? I'm not moving. Y'all drive this thing, so I'll chill. But we on the clock. We on the clock. CCL. Is that Carnival Cruise? Yes, it is Carnival Cruise. Okay. So CCL, and he's looking to swing trade it. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're swinging up or down, but we're going to talk about it. So Carnival Cruise. And just so y'all know, sometimes I start off a little slow, but that's me. And then I heat up. At least I try to. So let's see here. I need a weak view for this one. Okay, so it looks like we're approaching a double top on this, and we found a recent support and broke up. So let me see how we do with this wall here. Okay, actually this might be okay. Everything that I do as far as my charting goes is color coded. I know what everything kind of means. So when I'm zoomed in, I know where I am at all times. So if you're looking to swing trade this, then you might be, oh, it already fell down. You might be looking towards the downside because we're at a key level of resistance, right? And I'm going to go and pop that yellow and pop that, and then let's get into it. I typically don't break down a structure like this during this live stream, but I kind of just want to. All right, so essentially you're at a double top. You're paying attention to volume right now. Of course, we popped up and now we're consolidating. That's what always happens. And you have to identify if we're in distribution or accumulation. So are we ramping up to take off, or are we losing volume, AKA the buyers are losing steam and we're gonna come crashing down? As of right now, it looks like we're in a little bit of a downtrend as it relates to volume. So I would say this, as I'm looking at this, of course, this is the weekly. Let's zoom into the daily. Essentially, I would need for it to break $30.57 for me to be able to hop into a long on this one. Okay, I'm gonna look left a little bit to see if I can find some supply, historic supply, and we kind of got it right here, right? So right above this zone, we kind of found supply. Okay, so we essentially need to break through this. If we cannot break through this and find support at 31.48, then this is going nowhere. So just be careful. We do have some bullish momentum. We have some buy side imbalance, but typically when you see stuff like this, it's like a gravitational pull. All of those bids that got left holding, holding their bids, the price has to come back down. It doesn't have to, but it might just come back down. So just be careful and look for a potential reversal here. Okay. All right. Let me step it up. NVTS. Okay, so we looked at this before. So we had an imbalance. I don't know what time frame this imbalance was on, but we did establish it. And maybe this was a weekly imbalance? Nope. This is a 15-minute imbalance. It looks like about a 15-minute imbalance roughly. But anyway, we need to break above this and live above $8.39. If we don't do that, then we're not going anywhere, because essentially this is an imbalance here, but then we also are met with supply towards the upside, right? So right around here. Okay, so I don't know what you're gonna do with this stock, but me personally, let's see, hold up. Let me make sure that my comments are correct. Let me see if I can identify something here. All right. So this is like an ascending wedge pattern, right? Ascending wedge. So these will be your highs and lows if you're trying to swing this. Okay, you're looking for upside or downside, but you're towards the bottom. You just hit the ascending line of support, and it looks like it's trying to ramp up there. If I zoom in, I can take a quick peek to see if volume is matching what I'm theorizing. Okay, yeah, so we have an increase in buying pressure, and we are having some buy side imbalance as well. So yes, you could be pretty bullish here to close up this gap at NVTS. All right, moving on. WMT. Walmart, looking for calls or puts, swing please rail. All right, so we already did Walmart before. We had a symmetrical triangle on Walmart. We were waiting for the breakout. We got the breakout, but it failed to live above, right? And instead, on the breakout, it formed another symmetrical system, and then it just fell right through. So this zone that you see, the 103.75 to 101.51, these were our take profit targets for Walmart in the case it broke out of our original structure we talked about on Thursday. So now that we're below 101.51, we would be looking for WMT to come and retest this before it continues towards the downside to our take profit target of $99.78. Okay, if we break back above 101.51, then we have a potential for more upside, but you have to pay attention. All right, so I'm gonna leave that one at that because we've called this multiple times and we've been right. So let's see what we got. UNH. What do you say? CCL is pooties? I don't know what that means. All right. United Health. Okay. So understand this, everybody. We are in a potential sector rotation into healthcare and or finance. Okay. So this is why you see like more of a pump here, but also it sold off and it was a matter of time before it lost steam and turned around. Warren Buffett go ahead and spends $5 million on shares for UNH. So that's all great. When you zoom out to the weekly, you can see where the high and low is, right? You can see where your support and resistance is. And essentially, you're looking above 273.02. So we popped above that at 299.74. So let me put the latest tag, 299.74. Let me just do that. 299. All right, let's just call it a spade. Let's just do that. So we're pretty much there right now. Okay, so where are we going? Well, something like this, y'all, because of how far it's gone. Let me just take a peek. It looks like we could be approaching a supply zone that's up here, but I want to double check. I'm gonna draw this out, and then we're gonna zoom in and see how it lines up. Okay, so this is the 4 hour. Let's go to the daily. Okay. Yeah, that lines up pretty okay though. 4 hour. Let's go to 1 hour. Yeah, okay. So I'm cool with this. So what we see right here, this right here, I would call this a passive zone. So I get to go here and I get to click on my level, right? And then, oh man, let me put that to the right. And then I'll put a P here. I typically also put the time frame in which I found it. I think it was a 4 hour, but I'll double check. But anyway, this is a passive supply zone. So I can see us approaching this, which we already did. Let's see what it looks like on the extended session. So we're approaching this zone right here. So I do expect for us to pop into it and then potentially get wicked right out of it, right? So we're either going to wick out, right, and then come back down, or we're going to go in, find support at the bottom of the supply zone for a continuation towards the upside. Again, passive zone. So if we enter this zone, guys, don't be too quick to hop into a trade because it could be choppy for a long time. You just don't know. Please pay attention. Please zoom out. All right. TLRY. TLRY. Okay. TLRY is an uptrend. I mean, instantly you can see a higher high and higher low. That's, I mean, I'm not saying anything crazy, right? Like, but you can see that if you zoom out on the 1 hour at the very least, that was a known line of support, right? That we just broke. So now, hold on the weekly, not so much, but that's okay because this is a ceiling. So let me just go ahead and do this. And then there we go. All right. So TLRY, isn't this like a marijuana stock, something like that? But anyway, essentially for this, you're looking for support above $1.13, $1.13. And then if you're looking to go long on this thing, I don't know what the contracts look like. So be careful. I'm going to assume that the spread is pretty wide, maybe $3 to $5, but either which way, your next take profit target is 151. Something like this, you better make sure that your deltas and your gammas and your vegas are on point, okay, for your Greeks. If they are not on point, then this can smoke you. If you buy an ask instead of a bid, it can smoke you. So be careful with that stock. All right, so moving on. I am playing. Okay, pins. Okay, Pinterest. Well, right now it's at a wall, right? You know, and just so y'all know, sometimes my technicals need to be a little bit more detailed. Sometimes I need to whip out a volume profile here and there, but it's kind of rare. At the end of the day, my eyes are my eyes. I go up based off price action. If I can't identify what's going on with the specific stock, then I add my other indicators to kind of give me an assist, right? So I know what I'm looking at. So when you see something like this, back to the mission, Pinterest, PINS. We are in a chart pattern right now. We're trading kind of sideways, kind of like in a neutral position, and we're trying to determine what direction we're headed. So for me, for pins, right, if I'm looking to go long on this, we need to break. Hold on 1 second. I got to zoom in because we're on the weekly. I got to zoom in a little bit here. All right, so I would be careful hopping into some plays here. I mean, you very well could just hop into a call if you so choose at 36.19. Just know that your run up could be very short-lived because you're going up to about $39. Now, $3 isn't nothing to front about when it comes to options, especially if you choose the proper contract. Something tells me that these contracts are probably pretty expensive. I don't know. I haven't looked at HIMS, but this is a huge area of interest. So there's a lot of fake outs that's happening right here. So you have this supply zone. You need, I would be looking to ride the wave up, right, to about $39. And then I'd be paying attention to price action as we approach this level. Is volume slowing down as we approach this level? Or is it picking up? We need to know those things. And then you need to identify price action from that response, because that could be telling you that we are likely to come on back down. So if we go in, look for potential wick back out, and if we live below, so if we do one of these and wick back out, then you'll wait for confirmation and then ride this wave back down to this previous level of previous resistance that hopefully then becomes a strong support at 36.19. Okay, moving on. Next up, CRDL. CRDL. So we're gonna zoom out to the weekly. I'm gonna reset my chart and then take a look. All right, so we are in the technical downtrend. This is a gross, I don't know what this is. CRDL, cardio therapeutics. Okay, so I know we're in a healthcare like sector, like where we're likely to be, we're likely to be transitioning, but it also does matter the company. I don't know this company. So if this company is trash, then this is a descending wedge, and we could actually see, I don't know how much lower it can go, but you can see something like this. But sometimes you see companies do things like sell shares or sell stocks or pump stocks into the market to raise capital to stay afloat. You might see investors, you might see things like them being bought out. So you will be paying attention to those type of things, because typically when you see a system like this, you might see a breakout and then a false breakdown before it reverses on you. So just be careful. Looking at this personally, if I'm drawing a line, I'm drawing a line right in the middle of this triangle. And essentially, if I can't cross, if this can't cross this dotted line that you see that is now, let's say, blue, then it's a no-go. So where's the tip or the peak of this line? That would be at, the crossing would be at $1.39. So I would love to see support above here for a potential upwards move, but it may not happen. Too long on that stock, my bad. What else we got? Hopefully it's helpful. If this is helpful, put a 1 in the chat. If you have not hit the like button, please do so. Ferrari, ticker symbol race. All right, race. Whew. Ferrari. Okay, so this, I'm gonna whip out my parallel tool. Okay, so this is still showing an uptrend, right, until we break this trend here. Okay, so but what I'm looking at and looking for are areas of supply. So, and then that would be, I'm on the weekly, so that would be that, but just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. This is too far down. Okay, and then also previous areas of supply that could later become potential demand. That would be here. And anything like that, I'll pop up and put a blue symbol around it. But 1 second. Go ahead. Let's go my supply zone. And then let me zoom in a little bit. Ferrari. So essentially with Ferrari, you kind of missed the bottom. Okay. So this isn't something that I'd be quick to hop into at this very moment. What I would love to see if I was looking to ride this to the upside is, now that we've broke this previous level of a known supply zone, I would love to see it retrace to retest before continuing back up. So that's kind of what you want to see here. As I zoom in, let's see. I can see that this is losing steam. just a little bit. Let me just double check my MFR. So MFI, my money factor indicator, index, right? So what do you see as price? Well, no, this isn't a good piece right here. Hold on. So right now we're overbought, right? And on top of that, in these last couple candles, right, on the 65-minute chart, you've seen volume decrease. So what you have is a divergence here, just with volume. But ultimately, we're still bullish, but we just might be coming down a little bit just to come back to retest this line. We do have buy side imbalances going on here, but yeah, like I said, I'm not looking to get into this unless we come back down and retest 458.91. Now I know that's a big swing, right? 468 to 490, but you have to be methodical with how you're entering and exiting these plays, and that's where I would feel comfortable. Let's see here what we got. Timmer. All right, so let me zoom out. Weekly. Wow, I don't know what this is. Tim is Tempest AI. Okay, I've heard of this before, right? But nonetheless, it's a new stock. Drink break. It's a new stock and it's trying to find its way, right? But what you are seeing that's consistent is higher lows, okay? So that's a good thing to see for some strength. You see a lot of interest here. With the volume in our MFI, we're above the 50-point line. So these are all bullish indicators. We've broken a downtrend on the MFI. So things are looking up for the most part as of right now. But you have to be careful because this is a weekly, I know. But nonetheless, this is still an inside bar, right? Or a bearish engulfing, right? So I'm gonna call it the inside bar. No, it's a bearish engulfing. So yeah, so this is bearish, right? Like this is not looking good. And you can see the wicks every time we come up here, we get wicked out of it. Right now, we're back in that situation. It pumped to 74.46, and now we're already back down to about $71.17. So this is pretty sketch. So this is what I would say. For a stock like this, I'm looking where price has pretty much connected the most times, right? So give me a minute. I'm gonna help you out. Because what I see here, hold up. I forgot what this chart pattern is called, and I have a cheat sheet because I can't remember everything. But I want to tell you, right? So just give me just a moment, okay? Yep, so this is an ascending triangle, right? So with this ascending triangle, this is a neutral position. So this just tells you that the stock is still trying to find its direction. So I wouldn't be quick to be hopping into calls or anything like this because it probably still has room to come on down to this ascending line of support. So what we're doing for a long-term thing, we're waiting for a breakout, but typically that's going to happen closer towards the end. And if my guess is like 2026. So, but I don't know. I know nothing. All I know is what the charts tell me, and essentially you need some confirmation here. So confirmation above 75, 76 would be ideal. But again, I would probably just be playing the highs and lows of this if you're looking to swing trade it. So here's your low at $48.03, and here's your high at $75.76. So next up, all right. CNC. We have hit the 3-minute mark, everybody. We're almost done with the rapid fire chart analysis. CNC, Sentient Corporation. It sounds like they're about to take over with robots. Well, that had a massive sell-off, so that's not helpful. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know this company, but the charts are pretty obvious. Right now, we have a base of $24.87. If we fall below this floor, we're going into the basement. But be careful, because what you typically see when stocks fall this far is like liquidity grabs, right? So what they do, they would go ahead and fall below this level, maybe to a psychological level of support, like $20 before it rockets back up into it. So what we're looking for is some level of demand around this zone, because that for me will act as a trigger to enter a potential call, right? And then this technically is considered demand, but I want a better look, so I'm going to zoom in. Right now we're living down here. Okay. Okay, so technically that's really small, but it's almost textbook of price action. I want to set you up properly. I don't want to get this wrong. So just bear with me for just a moment on this one, everybody. Okay, we're gonna change this up. Let me go ahead and put this here, because we are now at a new level of potential support. So I'm gonna look here at this zone for potential. There we go. Perfect. All right, so this right here is the demand zone for this level on the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour demand zone. Okay, I did not go ahead and look for supply, but essentially what I'm telling you is that it already happened. We fell through, we found support, and then we rocketed back through demand. Once we approached the band, you've seen a momentum pick up, and we just shot right through it. So this could be a false breakout, right? But what you need to look for is the confirmation above this level of 28.19. Okay, 28.19. We need confirmation here to for continuation towards the upside. If we don't get that and we fall back in to this zone, you have to understand that this may be a passive zone. So I would be cautious as far as how I play this. I would be playing this below the zone on confirmation or above the zone on confirmation. But I would not be entering in the zone unless I'm pretty confident in the direction, which is a double bottom, right? Or a cup and handle that could happen. Exactly how this is drawn out. So just be careful. All right, my buzzer just beeped. Let me see. Did I miss anything? INTC. I will take care of that as the last ticker I will do. So we did this not long ago. So INTC. Hold up. We have a descending triangle. We have a descending triangle on INTC, and just like DN. Hold on, I forgot what it was. DNV. I forgot. But INTC Intel, we have a descending triangle. We've already drawn it up, right? And we called the play. We said if we break out, right, and confirm, then we are looking to ride this up to the take profit target of 26.64, right? We still, and which I don't know if we did. No, we did not hit that yet. So that's where it's headed. There's a short run from 24.50 to 26.64. If you're interested in hopping into a call, I would be careful, because this is an area where sellers are living. So just be careful. If we can come up here with some bullish momentum and you can find support, then great. I would definitely be waiting for a retest and price action to give me a signal to bring this towards the upside. But as of right now, it could just wick out. So remember, these neutral positions that you see, traditionally you get false moves, right? Traditionally you get false moves. And then in this case, what you can see, if things go that awry, right, you can see a move to that take profit target just for it to cut back down through the neutral position to retest 1682 before it decides to, come back up and find support above 1847. So just know that. Hopefully that helps everybody. All right. Okay. That was the rapid fire chart analysis with Stocks4Rell Sacrifice for Riches. Hopefully I was able to assist you in any way. Hopefully you gain clarity on the position that you're in or looking to get into. Typically what I do is on Sundays, I would probably go through some of those trades or plays if I seen anything of interest, and I would mark my alerts. And then when I get the alerts, that just tells me, market is calling me, hey, INTC is breaking, right? Then I take that, the alert gets set, the Discord gets noticed, and then we're in a play towards the take profit target. That's kind of what we do, right? Any questions? All right, I do want to shout out everybody, KGU, for being here. I appreciate the love and support. S4R Sacrifice for Riches, the Discord members, thanks for being here. Shout out to our boy Catching Rockets. If you don't know, you probably should know. Go over to his YouTube channel. He does a lot of educating there. The guy is a wizard when it comes to charting, and he's been trading for a long time. So if you want to learn from somebody, that's a place to go over there. So check him out. Alvin, you the man. You the man. All right. You the man. All right. If there's no questions, typically what I do at the end of my buzzer, I set a 2-minute timer, and then I sit here for a little bit, take a sip, and then just see if anybody has any questions. And that's all. Before anybody leaves, you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. I will say this. Two things. One, I guess I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't speak to two things here. Okay, so give me just a moment. So, I like to describe. So we got KGU and we got Sacrifice for Riches. If you are a member of KGU and you are not a doctorate tier member, then I strongly recommend that you consider upgrading. There's the link right there. There you get Crown Traders live trading, and you get live training as well. So if you need exposure, if you want to see people do it, that's what I would do. Okay. Now, for those that are looking to, so that's KGU is like a university, legit, right? But for those of you that are looking for like a smaller community, right? I'm more of like a technical college, right? It's just me over there. But I have a link. So if you are interested in becoming a member, I will share a link in the comments for Sacrifice for Riches. And this is S4R. So that's the link for that. The best tier is probably the Megalodons, because you get instant access to all the live training and trading that we've already covered. Okay. And then of course, all the future stuff we're going to cover. Thank you, Denise, so much for the $2 super chat. Queen, you're amazing. So thank you. All right. I think, what's up, Wingman? Shout out to you. All right. I think we covered everything. In 40 seconds, I'm just going to log off and call it a day. Check out that Battlefield beta, because I've been waiting to play that on my 5090. So I'm about to get into it. All right. Well, that is it. That's all I got for you. This is Stocks4Rell, Sacrifice for Riches. Thank you all for being here. Like, subscribe, share the video because it could be helpful to somebody.